Overview. Ask and It Is Given is one of the most powerful books on manifesting your dreams. Every sentence and each paragraph of this book contains deep truths which you will find true and relative. This book shows us that our emotions are the key to understanding whether we are moving on the road to success or on the road of failure. This book gave fun and deeply practical exercises, such as Magical Creation Box and the Prosperity Game. This book makes you young again, helps you to activate your imagination, and everything suddenly becomes possible for you after reading this book. After reading this book, you will understand the true meaning of the book. The message of this book is true and will help you to live a happy, positive life. Chapter 1. The Power of Feeling Good Now. In this chapter, the author has specifically written to give you a better understanding of yourself and everyone else around you. The author says the real knowledge comes from your own life experiences, and while you will be constant gathering of experience and knowledge, your life is not only about what the author says that your life is, but also about fulfillment, satisfaction, and joy. Author says that your life is about the continuing expression of who you truly are. In this chapter, author also talks about you only hear what you are ready to hear. Here the author is talking to us at many levels of our awareness, all at the same time. The author says that you will only receive whatever you are now ready to receive. The author says that through their book, everyone will not get the same thing, but every reading of this book will net you something more. The author says only those who understand every bit of this book will read this book many times. This book will help physical beings, means we humans, to understand their relationship to God and to all that they really are. This book will help you to understand who you really are and who you have been and where you are going and all that you continue to be. Chapter 2. We are keeping our promise to you. In this chapter, author have asked few questions. Do you know what you want? Do you know that you are the creator of your own experiences? The author asks, are you enjoying the evolution of your desire? The author asks, are you enjoying the feel of the freshness of new desire which is generating in you? The author says that if you answer these questions by yes, then you are amongst those rare physical beings, human beings, who know and understands who they are and what this physical life experience is really all about. The author says that if you come under those physical beings who are not satisfied or happy with their lives, who are not happy in their moment in their relationships, then you need to learn to live your life in present with happiness. In this chapter, the author has written things to reawaken the memory power within you and the inevitable success that pulses through the core of that which you really are. Author says that there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. You should live your life in joy and happiness. Chapter 3. You do create your own reality. The author says the basis of our lives is absolute freedom. The author says that we people were born with an innate knowledge through which we can create our own reality. The author says that knowledge in us is so basic that when someone attempts to thwart our own creation, we immediately feel discord within ourselves. The author says that when we were born, we knew that we are the creator of our own reality, and desire of creating our own reality was pulsed within us in a powerful way. No one else can create in your own experience. Ask, and it is given. Chapter 4. How can I get there from here? The author says that there are few questions they have heard from physical friends and people that, why is it taking them so long to get what they want? Author says the answer for this is because you don't want it enough, because you are not worthy enough, or because you were late and someone else has already won your prize. Author says the reason you have not got what you desire is because you are holding yourself in a vibrational holding pattern which does not get matched to the vibration of your desire. Chapter 5. The Hidden Value Behind Your Emotions. Author says that your sense of sight is different from your sense of hearing, and your sense of smell is different from your sense of touch. The author says that even though they are different, but still they are vibrational interpretations. Here the author says that the moment you go near the hot stove, your sense of sight or your sense of smell or any other sense will not tell you that stove is hot. But as you approach the stove with your body, the sensors in your skin will let you know that the stove is hot. The author says that we people or physical beings were born with sensitive, evolved, sophisticated translators of vibration that help us to understand and define our experience. The author says the same way we people were born with 5 physical senses to interpret our physical experiences, similarly, we people were born with other sensors, such as emotions, which are further vibrational interpreters that help you understand, in the moment, the experiences that you are living. The author says that emotions are indicators of your point of attraction. Emotions are indicators of your alignment with source energy. The author says that we people should use our emotions to feel our way back to well-being. Chapter 1. The Power of Feeling Good Now. Abraham is a family of non-physical beings naturally assembled by our powerful intention to remind you, our physical extensions, of the laws of the universe that govern all things. It is our intention to help you remember that you are extensions of source energy, that you are blessed, loved beings, and that you have come forth into this physical time-space reality to joyously create. All who are physically focused have non-physical counterparts. There is no exception to that. All who are physically focused have access to the broader perspective of that which is non-physical. There is no exception to that. But most physical beings have become so distracted by the physical nature of our planet that we have developed strong patterns of resistance that thwart our clear connection to our own source. It is our intention to help those who are asking to remember that connection. While all physical humans have access to the clear communication from the non-physical, most are not consciously aware of it, and often, even when you are aware that it is possible, you hold habits of thought that act as resistance, hindering your ability to consciously interact. Chapter 2. We are eternal beings in physical form. We are eternal beings who have chosen to participate in this specific physical life experience for many wonderful reasons, and this time-space reality on planet Earth serves as a platform in which we are able to focus our perspective for the purpose of specific creation. We are eternal consciousness, currently in this wonderful physical body for the thrill and exhilaration of specific focus and creation. The physical being that we define as we stands on the leading edge of thought, while consciousness, which is really our source, pours through us. And in those moments of inexpressible elation, those are the times when we are wide open and truly allowing our source to express through us. Chapter 3. The basis of your life is absolute freedom. We were born with an innate knowledge that we do create our own mind. And in fact, that knowledge is so basic within us that when someone attempts to thwart our creation, we feel an immediate discord within ourselves. We were born knowing that we are the creator of our own reality, and although that desire to do so pulsed within you in a powerful way, when we began to integrate into our society, we began to accept much of the same picture that others held of the way our life should unfold. But still, within us today lives the knowledge that we are the creator of our own life experience, that absolute freedom exists as the basis of our true experience, and that ultimately the creation of our life experience is absolutely and only up to us. We have not given up this freedom easily, however, and in fact we can never truly release it. for it exists as the most basic tenet of your very being. Still, in our attempt to release it for the sake of getting along, or in our hopeless resignation that we have no other choice than to give up our powerful right to choose, you have gone crossways to our natural current and contrary to our very soul. Chapter 4. How can I get there from here? Perhaps the question we hear most often from our physical friends is, why is it taking me so long to get what I want? It is not because we do not want it enough. It is not because we are not intelligent enough. It is not because we are not worthy enough. It is not because fate is against us. It is not because someone else has already won our prize. The reason we have not already gotten what we desire is because we are holding ourselves in a vibrational holding pattern that does not match the vibration of our desire. That is the only reason, ever. And an important thing for us to now understand is that if we will stop and think about it, or more important, stop and feel about it, we can identify our very discord. So now, the only thing we need to do is gently and gradually, piece by piece, release our resistant thoughts, which are the only disallowing factors involved. Our increasing relief will be the indicator that we are releasing resistance, just as our feelings of increased tension, anger, frustration, and so on have been our indicators that we have been adding to our resistance. You are a physical extension of source energy. Everyone is an extension of source energy. We are standing on the leading edge of thought. Our time-space reality was set into motion through the power of thought long before it manifested in the physical form in which we see it now. Everything in our physical environment was created from non-physical perspectives by that which you call Source. And just as Source created our world and us through the power of focused thought, you are continuing to create your world from your leading-edge place in this time-space reality. The evolutionary value of your personal preferences. We shouldn't underestimate the value of our preferences, for the evolution of our planet depends upon those of us on the leading edge of thought, continuing to fine-tune our desires. And the contrast, or variety, in which we are standing, provides the perfect environment for the formation of our personal preferences. As we are standing in the midst of contrast, new desires are radiating constantly from us in the form of vibrational signals that are received and answered by Source, and at that moment, the universe is expanding. A consistent formula gives you consistent results. Like learning to understand the basics of mathematics, and then having the successful experience of understanding the results of their applications, you will now have a formula for understanding your world that will always be consistent, and which will yield consistent results to you. They will be so consistent that you will be able to predict your future experiences with absolute accuracy, and you will be able to understand your past experiences with a knowing that was unavailable to you before. You will never again feel like a victim, in the past or future, cowering from the idea of unwanted things pouncing into your life experience. You will finally understand the absolute creative control that you have of your own life experience. And then you will be able to turn your attention to your own creative power, and you will experience the absolute bliss of watching all manner of things converging to assist you in the creation of your specific desires. Everyone has this potential, and some are realizing it. It will be an extremely satisfying experience to identify your own personal desires, which will be rising from the contrasting life experiences that you are living, and to know that each of those desires can be fully realized. From that place of belief, from that place of understanding the basics that are always consistent, you will now shorten the time between the inception of your idea of desire and its full and absolute manifestation. You will come to know that all things you desire can come easily and swiftly into your experience. Chapter 5. Our Emotions as Vibrational Interpreters. By paying attention to the signals of our emotions, we can understand with absolute precision everything we are now living or have ever lived. And with a precision and ease that we may have never before experienced, we can use this new understanding of our emotions to orchestrate a future experience that will please us in every way. By paying attention to the way we feel, we can fulfill our reason for being here, and we can continue our intended expansion in the joyful way that we intended. By understanding our emotional connection to who we really are, we will come to understand not only what is happening in our own world and why, but we will also understand every other living being with whom we interact. Never again will we have unanswered questions about our world. We will understand, from a very deep level, from our non-physical perspective, and through our own personal physical experience, everything about who we are, who we have been, and who we are becoming. The law of attraction, the most powerful law in the universe. Every thought vibrates. Every thought radiates a signal, and every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call that process the law of attraction. The law of attraction says, that which is like unto itself is drawn. And so, we might see the powerful law of attraction as a sort of universal manager that sees to it that all thoughts that match one another line up. We understand this principle when we turn on your radio and deliberately tune our receiver to match a signal from a broadcasting tower. We do not expect to hear music that is being broadcast on the radio frequency of 101 FM to be received on our tuner when it is set at 98.6 FM. We understand that radio vibrational frequencies must match, and the law of attraction agrees with us. So, as our experience causes us to launch vibrational rockets of desires, we must then find ways of holding ourselves consistently in vibrational harmony with those desires in order to receive their manifestation. How can I know what I am attracting? The key to bringing something into our experience that we desire is to achieve vibrational harmony with what we desire. And the easiest way for us to achieve vibrational harmony with it is to imagine having it. Pretend that it is already in our experience. Flow our thoughts toward the enjoyment of the experience, and as we practice those thoughts and begin to consistently offer that vibration, we will then be in the place of allowing that into our experience. Now, by paying attention to the way we feel, we can easily know if we are giving our attention to our desire or if we are giving it to the absence of our desire. When our thoughts are a vibrational match to our desire, we feel good. Our emotional range would be from contentment to expectation, to eagerness, to joy. But if we are giving our attention to the lack or absence of our desire, our emotions would range from feelings of pessimism, to worry, to discouragement, to anger, to insecurity, to depression. You are standing on the leading edge of thought. They like to refer to the place where we are standing as the leading edge of thought. For as we stand there in our physical body, in our physical environment, having our physical experience, we are the furthermost extension of that which we are. All that has ever been before is culminating into that which we now are. And just as all of our experience, from the time of our birth into our physical body until now, has culminated into who we now are, all that has ever been experienced by all that is, has culminated into all that is now being experienced in the physical life experience on planet Earth. If you can desire it, the universe can produce it. If our involvement in our time-space reality inspires within us any sincere desire, then the universe has the means to supply the results that we seek. Because our ability to reach for more expands with each achievement that came before, the expansion may feel breathtaking to those just coming to understand the power of it. But it may feel absolutely normal to those who have already come to understand and expect well-being to flow constantly into their experience. The stream of well-being flows even if we do not understand that it does. But when we consciously become aligned with it, our creative endeavors become so much more satisfying. For then you discover that there is absolutely nothing that we desire that we cannot achieve. You are a vibrational transmitter and receiver. Now, we are ready to understand the most essential part of controlling, creating, and enjoying our physical life experience, even more than the material being that we have come to know, as we are a vibrational being. When someone looks at us, they see us with their eyes and hear us with their ears, but we are presenting ourselves to them and to the universe in a much more emphatic way than can be seen or heard. We are a vibrational transmitter, and we are broadcasting our signal in every moment of your existence. As we are focused in this physical body, and while we are awake, we are constantly projecting a very specific, easily identifiable signal that is instantly received, understood, and answered. Immediately, your present and future circumstances begin to change in response to the signal you are offering now. And so the entire universe right now is affected by what you are offering. The longer you think thoughts, the stronger they become. Because the law of attraction is behind the expansion of our thoughts, it is not possible to give our attention to something without achieving an alignment with it to some degree. And so the longer we ponder the thought, and the more frequently we return to the thought, the stronger our vibrational alignment becomes. As we achieve a stronger alignment with any thought, we then begin to feel emotions that indicate our increased or decreased alignment with our own source. In other words, as we give more of our attention to any subject, our emotional reading of either harmony or disharmony with who we really are becomes stronger. If the subject of our attention is in alignment with what the source of our being knows, we would feel the harmony of our thoughts in the form of good feelings. But if the subject of our attention is not in alignment with what our source knows it to be, we would feel the disharmony of our thoughts in the form of bad feelings. Emotions are indicators of your point of attraction. Our emotions are our indicators of the vibrational content of our being in every moment. And so, when we become aware of the feeling of our emotions, we can also be aware of our vibrational offering. And once we combine our knowledge of the law of attraction with our in-this-moment awareness of what our vibrational offering is, then we will have full control of our own powerful point of attraction. With this knowledge, we can now guide our life experience in any way we choose. Our emotions, simply, purely, and only, are about our relationship with our source. And since our emotions tell us everything that we would ever want to need to know about our relationship with our source, we often refer to our emotions as our emotional guidance system. When we made the decision to come forth into this physical body, we fully understood our eternal connection to source energy, and we knew that our emotions would be constant indicators that would let us know in every moment our current relationship with source energy. And so, understanding the powerful guidance that we have eternal access to, we felt no sense of risk, no sense of confusion, only a sense of adventure and true exhilaration. The 3 steps to whatever you want to be, do, or have. The creative process is conceptually a simple one. It consists of just 3 steps. Step 1. You ask. Because of the wonderful and diverse environment in which you are focused, step 1 comes easily and automatically, for this is how your natural preferences are born. Everything from your subtle or even unconscious desires to clear, precise, vivid ones results from the contrasting experiences of your day-to-day life. Desires, or asking, are the natural byproduct of your exposure to this environment of fantastic variety and contrast. And so, step 1 comes naturally. Step 2. The universe answers. Step 2 is a simple step for us, for it is not our work at all. Step 2 is the work of the non-physical, the work of the God force. All things that we ask for, large and small, are immediately understood and fully offered, without exception. Every point of consciousness has the right and the ability to ask, and all points of consciousness are honored and responded to immediately. When we ask, it is given. Every time our asking is sometimes spoken with our words, but more often it emanates from us vibrationally as a constant stream of personally honed preferences, each building on the next, and each one respected and answered. Step 3. You allow it in. Step 3 is the application of the art of allowing. It is really the reason our guidance system exists. It is the step whereby we tune the vibrational frequency of our being to match the vibrational frequency of our desire. With practice, you will become a joyous, deliberate creator. As we consciously consider the way we feel, we will get better and better at directing the source energy, and we become a disciplined and joyous, deliberate creator. With practice, we will be able to achieve a focused control of this creative energy, and like the skilled sculptor, we will take delight in the molding of this energy, which creates worlds, and direct it toward our individual creative endeavors. As we focus creative energy, there are 2 factors to consider. First, the intensity and speed of the energy, and second, your level of allowing or resisting it. The first factor has to do with the amount of time we have spent considering our desire, and to what degree we have become specific. In other words, when we have been wanting something for a long time, our summoning power is much greater than if we are thinking about it for the first time today. Also, whenever we have considered it for some time, having experienced contrast that helped us to become even more specific about it, our desire summons it in an even more powerful way. Once a desire has achieved that sort of power or speed, it is quite easy for us to feel how we are doing with the second factor, the allowing or resisting part of the equation. How to effectively become a deliberate creator. Remember, before we can effectively benefit from paying attention to our emotions, we must first accept that well-being is the only stream that flows. We can allow or disallow this stream, but when we allow it, we are well, and when we disallow it, we are sick. In other words, there is only a stream of wellness, which we are allowing or resisting, and we can tell by the way we feel which we are doing. We are supposed to thrive. We are supposed to feel good. We are good. We are loved, and well-being is constantly flowing to us. And if we will allow it, it will manifest in all manner of ways in our experience. Your point of attraction is being affected. When our activated thoughts are general and not very focused, those early vibrations are still very small and do not yet have much attraction power or pulling power, so to speak. And so, in these early stages, we would not likely see any manifested evidence of our attention to the subject. But even though we do not yet see the evidence, the attraction of other thoughts that are a vibrational match to these is occurring. In other words, the thought is becoming stronger. Its pulling power is getting stronger. And other similar thought vibrations are joining it. And as the thought gains momentum, we now begin to get an emotional reading on how well this growing thought vibration is matching the energy of our source. If it matches who we are, your good-feeling emotions indicate that. If it does not match who we are, our bad-feeling emotions indicate that. Your emotional set points can be changed. In the same way that our emotional set points can change from cycling basically good or secure to feeling bad or insecure, our set points can change from not feeling good to feeling good. For our high points are achieved simply by attention to a subject and through your practiced thought. However, most people do not deliberately offer thought, but instead they let their thoughts gravitate to whatever is happening around them. Something happens. They observe. They have an emotional feeling response to what they are observing. And since they usually feel powerless in controlling what they are observing, they conclude that they have no control over their emotional response to what they are observing. Learn to pay attention to your feelings. When emotions are strong, whether they feel good or feel bad, our desire is strong. When emotions are weak, our desire is not so strong. When emotions feel good, whether they are strong or weak, we are allowing the fulfillment of our desire. When emotions feel bad, whether they are strong or weak, we are in the state of disallowing the fulfillment of our desire. Our emotions are absolute indicators of our vibrational content. Therefore, they are the perfect reflection of our current point of attraction. They help us know, in any moment, whether or not we are currently allowing the fulfillment of our desire. We may believe that we cannot control our emotions, or we may believe that we should control our emotions, but we would like us to approach our emotions in a different way. It is our encouragement that we pay attention to how we feel and allow our emotions to be the valuable indicators they are. Can I really count on the law of attraction? The law of attraction always yields to us the essence of the balance of our thoughts. No exceptions. We get what we think about, whether we want it or not. And in time, with practice, we will come to remember that the law of attraction is always consistent. It never tricks us. It never deceives us. It never confuses us. For the law of attraction responds precisely to the vibration that we are offering. But the confusion for many comes because they are offering vibrations that they do not realize they are offering. They know that they hold a desire in a specific direction, and they know that their desire has not yet come to them, but what they often do not realize is that they are offering the majority of their thoughts in opposition to their own desire. Once we understand our own emotional guidance system, we will never again offer our vibrations in ignorance. And in time, we will achieve such keen awareness of our own valuable emotions that we will know in every moment if the thought that we are currently focusing on is taking us toward or away from something we desire. We will learn to literally feel our way to the things that we desire on all subjects. The basis of our world is one of well-being. We can allow it or not, but the basis is well-being. The law of attraction says, that which is like unto itself is drawn. And so, the essence of whatever we give our attention to is unfolding in our experience. Therefore, there is nothing that we cannot be, do, or have. This is law. Unwanted must be allowed, for wanted to be received. Sometimes our physical friends express their desire for a less diverse universe. They long for a place where there are not so many unwanted things, a place where more things are exactly as they prefer them to be. And we always explain that we did not come forth into this physical experience wanting to take all of the experiences that exist and whittle them down to a handful of good ideas upon which we all agree, for that would lead to end-edness, which cannot be. This is an expanding universe, and all things must be allowed. In other words, for us to understand and experience what we desire, we must understand that which we do not desire, in order to be able to choose and focus. Both must be present and understood. This has been Summary. Ask and it is given. Learning to manifest your desires.